Well, very good morning to all of y'all who have already joined and are joining for this lecture, which is, I would say, happening after a very long break. Uh, this break was due to an ailment that I have, and I'm recovering from that ailment. But I said that since I have the syllabus to cover, I should be starting and let me see how much I can push my body. As a consequence, this week, we will have our lecture today, and we will have our lecture on Saturday, 9:30. We will not have our lecture tomorrow. Depending on the syllabus, how far we are going, etc., etc., I would be increasing the number of lectures, regular lectures, or cutting down. That's one thing. And secondly, how my health coops up while I am going to be delivering lectures is something again that we have to keep in mind. There are a few things in the pipeline for the day. The first thing, however, is that I would like to bring to the notice of all of y'all that these network issues have started at my place once again. So just in case there is a drop in network, and with this drop, I'm say I go out of the meeting, I would request you all, any one of you all, to please call me up on my phone number and please inform me that I am out of the meeting as such. Okay, because the other day I was speaking to the FYBSc students, and at the 20th minute, my network dropped and I was out of it, but I was on a slide screen mode. So, and of course, I was in the regular flow of the lecture. And it was only in the 45th minute that I stopped my presentation that I came to know that I was off the meeting at the 20th second itself, or 20th minute itself. So that should not happen with us. We already have significantly less time as far as completion of a syllabus is concerned. And we should not be losing that time as well. So the moment I am off the screen and I drop my network, okay, you can please call me. Don't post me on my WhatsApp. Don't call me on the WhatsApp. Don't please do call me on my direct number, because the other things are not accessible to me. The BSc students tried doing a lot of things, but then the only thing they messed up with is they did not call me directly. So that is a very basic instruction I would like to pass on to you all, that in case my network drops and I'm out of it, please call me so that I can, I am ready with two connections now, but both of them are a bit wavy these days. So I can shift from one to the other and let us see that how that functions as such. That's one primary thing. Secondly, as I said, that health-wise, I'm not 100% fit, and because I'm not 100% fit, I would be speaking at a lower pace, and that would be boring at times. I will try to make it as interesting as possible, but I would try not to be boring at times. But as I said, that energy that we used to have before my ailment is certainly missing because of the weakness that I have generated through this process. So you'll have to bear with me for that, for a few lectures as such, as I keep gathering energy every day by day. I can assure you that we could go to the same energy levels that we had in the earlier lectures as such. That's one thing that I wanted to tell you all. The second thing is that I'll just present. Oh, just a moment. Yeah. I have received a couple of messages, not many, on the our WhatsApp group that students have not got their uh, marks in a proper way. Now, this is a copy of a message that I have asked students to come up with as far as as far as my FYBSc students are concerned. The reason being that when you write to me in our group that, sir, my marks are missing, when I look onto your who you are, your statuses and your names are various emojis. I'm not able to track who you are, and to avoid that confusion, I came up with this possible solution for my FIBSE students as such. Possible solution in the sense that we'll start a continuous message, all of us, those who have that problem as such, that we'll start a message wherein we start with number one. Then the name is going to be Sahil Rajendra Bawalekar. This is an hypothetical uh, name, let us say. He is from the BSc, but for us, let us say, you will write your admission form number below that. Then you'll write your exam seat number below that. Okay. And after that, you're going to write your uh, phone number so that in case you are required to be traced, we could call you. The date on which you have appeared for the respective exam is something that we would also require so that the technical people would go into that. The subject, obviously, I'm going to entertain geography. Now, this is being science, they have written geography 1. So, name, admission form number, your exam seat number, your phone number, and then you're going to write me your issue. That's my internal exam marks of geography paper 1 are 10, but in the result, it is showing as absent. Hence, my result for this subject is coming fail. Please solve this problem. This is case number 1. Now, the second student who needs to post his issue to me will copy this message and then he will paste it in the posting box. Below this message, he will write number 2. That student again will repeat these things in the sense the name and the admission form and the exam seat number. And below that, of course, phone number is something which I've added later. So you'll have to add your phone number as well. And the other things as normal. So we will in a streak have the list of all the students who have problems with their internal marks or other marks being posted properly or improperly, and having that, I would have all the names of the students at one point, and it would be very easy for me to track down your marks and report to the examination section as to these are the numbers, they have this particular problem, and we should be solving that as such. So that is something that I wanted to uh, tell you all. Coming back to the regular frame, does anyone of you all have any questions still to all that we have done till now, particularly this posting, any difficulties you have had as far as your semester 1 marks are concerned? Okay, the way you should be presenting the message on the WhatsApp group as such. If you don't have any questions, we should be going ahead. Please confirm, someone of you all, please confirm that uh, I have been very clear about it. You can unmute yourself and you can say, just say that it's fine, sir. You can go ahead. Hello, are you able to hear me, please? People?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Thank you very much. The next thing is that I had posted you an assignment, and I think Bahar had said that if I could repeat what exactly is expected out of the assignment, it would be better. And yes, even I thought that if I would be posting something uh, or I would be speaking about how the assignment should be made, that would be beneficial for majority of the students as such. And consequently, I am now going to present what we are supposed to be doing as far as, just a moment. Yep. Uh, Present now. Once again, I would remind you all that just in case my network drops, please feel free to contact me on my phone directly, because I would not be in a position to know whether I am in the group and presenting or not. And with this, I would go ahead. And if you remember, I had posted this as a PDF on our group also. And I had said that this guy Huntington, who was a maverick about human geography, he has covered literally everything in this one diagram. In fact, if you, I have spoken about the syllabus at an earlier point of time, but yes, before we go ahead, we would be doing that again as such. So you could just compare what Huntington says and what we have in our syllabus. And I would say that our syllabus, because it has to be structured for 3 to 4 months, has many things less than what Huntington had to say about the elements of human geography. But if you remember in the introductory lectures on human geography, I had said that anything constructed, anything made by man, and anything impacted by man, and anything that impacts man forms the content of the subject of elements of human geography as far as Huntington is concerned. Coming to the assignment, I have said that you would be handwriting an assignment which is going to be around 200 words. And I had asked you all to select from any of these as such. But then I said that you have to be smart, because this is 100, 150, 200 years ago what Huntington says. And I don't want you all to be theoretical about what Huntington says about the human geography. And going that way would be very amateurish, and I don't want you all to be amateurish. I want you all to be very observant about conditions around. Now, say for example, if we are doing population, I can see population here. But if I read in the Times of India yesterday or day before yesterday, I'm not very sure, uh, that China is now allowing couples to have 3 children. I don't know how many of y'all have read this news, but then this is one of the latest news I could say is on the grounds now. You'll see that around 1981, China went into an one-child policy, and while it was hailed like anything in the first decade, and that India started galloping away with its population growth, but China was seen to be arresting its population growth. And however, 90s onwards, it started having its problem because of the strictness of the implication of the one child norm. 2000 onwards, that's 20 years down the line after they had come up with the single child norm as such. Around 2000, they started having serious issues as far as male-female ratios, other social cultural issues were concerned. And for this, in fact, to reach the higher levels, it took 2010. And for the last 5, 6 years, they were contemplating about the fact that whether they should be relaxing these norms, etc., etc., as such. And just see, it's finally 2021. For 40 years they had. At some point of time, I would like to speak to you all about the funny side of China implicating or implementing, I would say, the strict the one child norm with absolute strictness as such. There are so many cases as to how it was so very unnatural, and how some people were taking disadvantage of that, and how some people were taking advantage of that as well. So in that sense, I would say that you could pick up on any of these 21 human responses. This I would try to enlarge this. Okay, let us see. I'll put it this way. This side. Okay, food and drink. Okay, this. Now, I don't want to give you any directions or channelization as such, but you could be smart enough to go and food and drink. Now, you could say the food and drink of the present India, urban India in the world, the say the most commonly consumed food and drinks in the world could be. I want it to be so very simple, but it has to be innovative. It has to be on your own. Okay, and you have to fit it in 200 words. You could put in digital diagrams along with your assignment, but it should be around 200 words, not much long. Let us say maximum 250 to 300. Fit it within it, and say as far as clothing is concerned, somebody could be a bit traditional, saying writing about the clothing in different parts of India, or clothing in different parts of the world. And while doing that, see, this is information. But then, why is cotton so famous in India? Why is wool so famous in the European things? You'll have to support it. Why is it that in some areas they're wearing caps? Why is it that in some areas they wear turbans? So it is these things that I want you all to bring out in, and that's why I've kept it very, very small. 200 words, I know, you know, is a very small context as far as 20 marks of an assignment is concerned. And that is why your real task is going to be getting to the best of the things that you can get under that particular category as such. Similarly, you can work around shelter also as such. Okay. And remember, you're speaking about human geography, so you could be speaking about shelters in urban areas, tall buildings, etc., etc. You could be speaking about skyscraper. You could be doing a comparative study as far as the number of skyscrapers in different major cities of the world is concerned. We all know that China presently, I think, leads as far as the number of skyscrapers, given the various locations, and that would be a part of your study if you want this to be your thing. So shelter does not only mean that that cute-looking bungalow in front of you. You could speak about slums. You could speak about slums. So even that is a part of human geography, and I would say that a lot many people are working on slums. Okay, you could list about the slums in different parts. So that is what I was thinking when I gave you this, that go very, very broad. And when I said that start thinking about it, I was expecting this that you would be thinking in that particular way as such. Now, when I speak about tools, I would say tools used in industries, tools used in agriculture, tools used in other activities like dairy farming, etc., etc. So it's a matter of putting the keyword in Google and I would say you could get the title of what you would supposed to be, supposedly be writing right in front of you, as far as in Google search is concerned. Means of transportation, as I said, somebody could be speaking about at a very local level, in the sense metro in Pune and the details of all that. Or you could be doing a comparative study of metros in different cities of India, or you could generally be speaking about metros in different parts of the world. Going into hunting, yes, hunting is something very sensitive, and as a consequence, uh, hunting would basically mean how different countries are either in favor of hunting, how they are not in favor of hunting, how peculiar species are identified for hunting. I think there was a news from Australia the other day that there is some problem with some animal. I think it's rabbits or not exactly, but they are having serious problems. Now, in that case, if you are compensated into killing down, like during bird flu, we used to kill down these animals. That's called as culling, Culling, culling. Okay, so with his own comfort level, human beings are seen to give different names as such. Continuing on hunting, I would say that there is this very peculiar story that I have with me. And again, if we have some time, I would like to show it to you as to how Japan, which seems to be a very environmental supportive country, etc., etc., etc. I think I spoke about this point also, but if I have not, it would be See, Japan is a major fishing country in the world, and the major fish that they fish or they hunt is the whale. And for a significant period, whaling as an activity was banned by the United Nations, which hampered the economics of Japan to a significant level. And of late, what Japan has done, it has identified partners, very poor partners. Now, they have taken along countries from Africa, etc., South America, and they have asked these countries to vote for Japan as far as opening up selective whaling once again as such. So there is a lot of politics and international politics that takes place. So when I say hunting, fishing, herding, farming, okay, you could say just think about these aspects of it as such. When we say farming or herding or even fishing as such, you could come up with a very traditional way of now you come to Kerala. Most those who have been visiting Kerala for tourism purpose, they have that unique way of fishing as such. People go to see those fishing nets of Kerala as such. When it comes to farming, you could say organic farming is something that human beings have brought up. So you don't have to wait, or you don't have to write what Huntington was meaning about farming as such. You could in fact come up with the present meaning of farming and how people are changing their viewpoints as far as farming is concerned. Then lumbering, you could take up a particular country and you could go into the details of it. Mining, yes, again, the international rules and laws of mining particularly of dangerous minerals or harmful polluting minerals, and how that is. See, while I'm all the way on the 11th point, you can always think about, rather we should be thinking about the environmental concern, the sustainability of that respective resource, whether the extraction, exploitation of it is disturbing the environment or not, is something, a very interesting point you can come up with. Okay, so moving ahead with manufacturing, commerce. In fact, you'll see that as far as manufacturing and commerce is concerned, the last 20 months of the COVID pandemic has completely changed the scenario of manufacturing and commerce as such, you see that home delivery is something which is more practice these days as such. Online shopping, etc., is something which is being practiced. Having said that, as far as commerce is concerned, I don't know how many of you all follow the mutual funds and share market, etc. But in spite of these lockdowns, after the initial blemish that we had as far as the share market is concerned, you'll see that the share markets have been significantly high. And I was hearing to a conversation on a radio channel the other day, and they said that all these people who are working from home, they are saving a lot of money. And you see, previously what used to happen is they used to just move around during the evenings, and they used to buy good commodities for them, right from uh, costly sprays to branded shoes, and all this is a part of human geography. Let me tell you, everything that you see around us, basically because we are more into an urban environment, everything around us is human geography. So these people are nowadays home and they are not shopping, etc. So they are uh, say they are left with a sizable amount of surplus from their salaries, and it is these salaries that now eventually they have started investing, and that is why you'll see that it could be mutual funds, it could be SIPs, it could be share market. Everybody is now opening up their demat account and they're going into that. I would say that a person who is would be interested writing on this should be well known about this. Don't just approach it with uh, uh, as they say, I would say, rather in mutual funds, is that mutual funds are subject to market risks. Please read the offer document carefully. I would say that unless and until you know about it, don't take it up as a topic as far as human geography is concerned. Then health. Health, I would say that if I would have narrowed down on this only topic, and I would say that all of you all need to write on health. I would say that every one of you, what we have gone through for the last 1.5 years or so, would be in position to write something about health. So you could choose from this also, uh, from directly connecting it to COVID to healthy conditions, healthy diet, healthy food, uh, supplements, and dieting, different types of dieting. I'm giving you a huge variety, okay? And that's why I would say that since it is only 200 words, but for 20 marks, the scrutiny of your topic and scrutiny of what you're writing is going to be very, very valid. Last time, because that was your first attempt, I think the minimum marks I gave was 10. I think nobody got less than 8 marks. But mind you, if you're going to take it, say, very casually, I could scale you below that also as far as this semester is concerned. So you have to be very innovative. You have a lot of time at your disposal. As far as submissions, etc., are concerned, don't worry about the submissions. We have the whole month in our hand. In lectures to come, we could be discussing again and again. If you have any issues, you write them, keep them ready. Towards the last 5 minutes of every lecture, I would we could speak about it, and I would give you my opinion about your topic as such. So that's going to be a very fantastic exercise. I said around 150 students writing on various aspects of human geography. Going to be fantastic. Okay, then recreation is something that we could go on. The new things that have come up in recreation, you could just select one unique way, one new form of tourism that has come forth, and you could expand on that idea as such. Government education is something that you could go in details, right from your own set of education to the new education policy to what is happening with uh, you could just speak about how examinations are being postponed and what could be the positive and negative impacts of this happening. From the student side of view, on a lighter note, I would say that it's getting very entertaining because I see that students form groups and they pass on answers from here and there. But then the unfortunate side of it is that you are missing out on a lot of things that are being learned that otherwise are learned as far as classroom teaching is concerned. Modeling in the sense that you look at other students, how they behave, how they study. You say in an abstract environment. Now, today I have purposely blacked out my video as such because the ailment has just disfigured my face to some extent because I had had an sinus operation as well, and that's why I've kept it blank. And, otherwise, you'll see that in a classroom, you follow your teachers, you follow other students, okay, and you learn a lot of things from them, which is not being possible nowadays. And in fact, you have so many group activities now. Had this been in a class, I would have said, okay, 10 groups of 10 would work on one particular thing and they would be presenting it in the class, which is not possible now. You are all on your own. Okay? Just remember that if I put 10 minds together, their output is certainly going to be different as compared to one mind working on a particular thing. Okay, so education in that way is going to be hampered significantly. And as far as the output levels also are concerned, mind you that if this continues further, you are a batch who have done your first year completely on an online mode. Possibly the first semester of your second year also would be on an online mode. So half of your education, undergraduate education, will be online. And I doubt that when people are going to take you up for jobs as such, unless and until you prove your mettle, nobody is going to believe you that I've done my undergraduation very seriously as such. Obviously, private companies, multinationals would come up with their own techniques of evaluation, but let me caution you, that's aside of course the whole thing as such. Or in fact, I would say that one of you all could take this up that say the pitfalls of online education is something that you could take and facing an interview coming out of online education for a couple of years as such. So these innovative topics could be fantastic, and I would say, in fact, you all could go ahead. And as far as these two topics, 19 and 20 are concerned, science and religion, and I could link art, literature, and culture that also. This is those students who are very poor into the arts faculty. You could discuss about how science is helping or not helping, the good practices and bad practices in science and such. And as far as religion is concerned, you'll see that all those, religion is something that human beings would require to have. And however, you'll see that for the last 1.5 years, you'll see that no religion is claiming to have that holy grail, which would eventually be the medicine for corona as such. Okay, you'll see that no religion is speaking about that. That okay, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. I have a solution for this. I have a solution for that. Okay, so you'll see that science on one side and religion on the other side, I would say have their limitations either ways as such. And you'll see that art, literature, etc. From the science side of it and from the religion side of it, I would suggest that those students who have a good grip on this would try to take it up. Otherwise, please don't go into the details of trying to take up this here as such. So this is religion as such. And as I said, that keep thinking about the health of the earth with all the regards for that. And you could speak on the general aspects which impact human beings and how man impacts them also as such. But then you have to be always in touch with the human geography aspect of it, and don't just make it very, so to say, uh, as I said, as I referred to it earlier also, amateurish. Okay, I'm not expecting a very expert assignment from you all, but the moment somebody reads through it, she should be in a position to say that, well, this guy has worked around his topic. Okay, and it may not be that you may cover 100% of what I am thinking on that particular topic, but given the age at which I am and for the years for which I have been teaching geography now, I would certainly say you could give me the credit of the fact that reading through an assignment, I could make it up. I could see that whether this is being done at given a proper effort into it, or this is just a copy paste. Please remember that it has to be uh, handwritten. Please see that you do mention your references towards the end. The number of words in the references would obviously not count as far as the length of your topic is concerned. Okay, possibly you could just introduce your topic and then go into the details of it. Okay, so and finally put up a conclusion as far as your assignment is concerned. In between, I give you the freedom of pasting along uh, images that you could get on Google, and then make a PDF of the whole document, and you could post it in the classroom, that like we did uh, in Sem 1 as such. So that is what I was I wanted to refer to for the day is concerned. We've already taken up around 40 minutes. So I would not start with something else. I would just end this. Let me see if I have. Uh, okay, let us not jump into this. Okay, let us not hurry because I don't. This is something which has to seep into your minds. Okay, human geography is unfortunately taken up as a very superficial subject by many teachers of geography also, because it tends to be very contemporary. You remember, I will use the word contemporary in assigning you the assignment also, and we jokingly say that in classes wherein you have these human geography subjects, that say for something like population, uh, a teacher normally says that if he's not a good teacher, he would say that, well, what should I be teaching you about population? We are number one in population, and everybody in India knows everything about population. So instead of me teaching you population, you could just read around a population. And unfortunately, as I said, that as far as all these 21 elements are concerned, okay, you could be very superficial about all these details of each of these, and explore the various channels that could come out of the to learn human geography at a very superficial level. Whatever we do, okay, we have a 1 month in at our hands. Don't worry about your examination. It's going to be an MCQ, and let me tell you that it's more so going to be sort of a general knowledge sort of a thing. Okay, but I want you all to actually give an effort as far as going into the details as such. Okay, why it's so important to understand this is, you'll see that these 21 elements were written down 150 years ago, but you can just see as to how the population has increased, and with the increase of population, from each of these human responses have changed in quantum, Leave aside what it was in the 16th century, 17th century, 18th century. If even if you are referring to these points at a contemporary level, okay, this is going to be it's going to be a huge amount of resource material for us, and that's why I thought of giving you this as a uh, I've never given such an assignment to any class before, but as we have planned, I've already announced this assignment to you all. So that's something that I wanted to share with you all as far as the day is concerned, and I would just log out of this and yeah. Now I'll give you 5 to 10 minutes. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Hello, can you hear me? People, are you able to hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Hello.
Hello, am I audible?
Yeah. Okay, you
Sir,
are
I
able
had a
to hear me.
regarding
Okay,
the
okay. I just
assignment.
got a message that my network is down, so I just was worried about whether I am in contact with you or not. Yeah. So I have placed my points in front of you. Now, if you have any queries, as I said, please don't ask me that should this topic be fine. Reserve that for some other lecture. You work. Okay? I would say that in fact, you think about two to three, and in fact, you could think of more points as such. As I said, you go to Google and you could have so many contemporary issues of all that Huntington has to say about human elements of human geography. So don't disclose all your cards right away. Anything that you would otherwise off and want an information on from me, I am open to question for the next 5 to 10 minutes. Yes, you can ask me your questions.
Sir, I had a question. Am I audible?
You don't have questions for me, people?
Sir, am I audible?
Yes, yes, you are, Bahar.
Sir, I wanted to ask, do we need to write it like an essay, or can we just craft a story based on the topic?
Uh, I would rather say I would leave it to your flair. If you are good at writing it in an essay format, it's no issues for me. If you are making a news out of it to make a story out of it, that would be fantastic. No issues about that. As far as I get my 200 words and the core content, and that you have actually worked on it, I would give you the full freedom for making your own assignment.
Ma'am, and sir, and one more thing.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
do we include like major statistics in that, or is it based on our understanding of the thing, of the topic?
See,
Or
your understanding also would be on a statistics. So you would be required to give the statistics in a tabular format, and then you could give your interpretation about the statistics. Because you just go on to interpret something which you are not given in your assignment, that would make it difficult for the person who's going to assess your assignment as to what this person actually is meaning around the numbers that she is speaking about.
got it, sir. Thank you.
Okay, okay. Any other issues students have? of these 45 students who are attending, do you all have any problem as far as your first semester marks are concerned? That they have not been printed, etc. I've already given a detailed way of how we are going to try and solve these issues as such. So you'll have to repeat this lecture. I'll be posting it on my YouTube channel in some time from now. And for the assignment topic selection also, I would in fact urge you to silently go through what I am speaking. I have spoken about elements of geography, human geography. Uh, say the second time, the first time you may have been hearing it live, you may not get the grip of what I have been speaking, but the second time, if you're going to hear it carefully, I'm sure that definitely you would find some material, some content, some lead into some topic as such. I would suggest that uh, as a start, before you before I post this on the YouTube channel, for a start, you could just go through various news channels or various information channels in different parts of this. Just check the various newspapers, just check the various uh, uh, video news channels, etc. And possibly you could have your lead point as far as your assignment is concerned. Well, if you don't have any questions for me, I am already feeling a bit fatigued about speaking for the last, what, 45, 46, 47 minutes as such. Uh, Thank you for bearing with me. I don't know for how many days I would be blackening out my video screen as such, but as early as possible, I would like to be in contact with you all, because I personally believe that communication is not something about hearing something. It's about looking at something. It is about expressing and checking the expression of the presenter. So that's the huge limitation we would have till the point I just get back to normal health as such. But then, thank you for being with me all through the time, and your prayers of many of you all have been answered. I was really in a very difficult condition for nearly a month's time. Now, of course, things are significantly okay. I'm doing my follow-ups and energy gathering methods, having a rich protein diet, etc., is on. Thank you very much for your blessings. Thank you for attending this first lecture. Tomorrow we are not going to have a lecture as such. Saturday 9:30 we should be commencing with the other aspects as far as our human geography topic is concerned. Thank you very much. We are meeting.